Thank you very, very much for taking my call today. Um,
Sure.
I actually spoke to you back in July. I have been going through a lot this past year of my life. And in doing that, I came across this guy, Dr. Henry Cloud, who really has a lot of wisdom. And
What? That guy?
yeah, I
Oh,
tell
oh,
everybody about you.
I'm
They're
so
laughing.
sorry
You know,
that happened to you.
yeah, I'm feeling very, very blessed. But um, I've joined his boundaries.me, and I've been to a few webinars, and
Oh,
I'm looking
cool.
right now at I'm looking at my bookshelf, and I have boundaries and necessary endings, and changes that heal, and I'm just really diving in here and learning a lot about a lot of things. And in that process, I have discovered that, um, there was some dysfunction in my life because I'm alive, right?
Oh my
And
gosh, you're one of those things they call humans.
yes, I am. I am a human.
I bet
Absolutely.
you
100%.
I bet you eat food and I bet you drink water and like, you do a bunch of those human things, and one of those is probably
I,
have a little dysfunction to go along with it, right?
yes, yes, yes.
Oh,
Unfortunately, I was not aware of that until recently and never really
oh, wait a
gave.
minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, time out. Yes, you were. You just didn't know that's what it was. You had the pain, right?
No, 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 no. I have uncovered a lot that I did not know was there.
No, I understand
I
that
just
because
okay.
there's always more, but you knew that life hurts sometimes, and you knew there were hiccups, and you knew there were dysfunctional people in your life, right?
I'm not really positive how to answer that.
Oh,
Clearly, have I realized that. That's why I sought help. And
yeah, okay.
how I connected
That's
so
all.
much with what you say.
That's all I
But
mean.
I really like
We
when
don't
I
we
first.
might not know what to call it, but we know, gosh, something's not exactly right around here. So, but tell me, I'm so glad that you've gotten on this path, and I'm glad it's been helpful to you. But tell me how I can help you today.
Okay, so I have looked at my past. Like the first time I went to my first therapist, they're like, "Okay, what's your childhood?" And I'm like, "Oh, believe it to Beaver, June Cleaver. We were all just, happy-go-lucky, and blah blah blah." And I have found that that was in fact not exactly true, and that there was a lot of um, we never talked about anything,
Yeah,
ever talked about anything
yeah.
little, big, or anything in between in my life. And I just kind of didn't even think about that. That was my normal. And so when I raised my children, I did as I knew. And now I'm looking at the situation like, oh my
Hey,
gosh, I have taken
Michelle,
all of these.
Michelle, hold on, hold on. I want you to hold that thought. You just said something I think that could be so helpful to so many people. You said, when I raised my children, I just did as I knew. Okay, I just want a bunch of people out there who have a lot of regrets and they're feeling bad about themselves and all this kind of stuff to can we just take a moment, all of you to become aware that when you look back at how you raised your kids, you could have done some things differently, but you did it like you knew to do it. And can you just say, okay, that's what it was? Can you just forgive yourself and accept? And now let's go from there because you did it the way you knew to do it. I mean, that's how you knew to do it. So, anyway, I just want to take your phrase and give
I
people a break and let them go forward from there. Sounds like you're doing. So, so then
I
what
I
was the thought in your
I
head?
I am trying hard to do that, because I didn't do it consciously.
Right.
Um, and with this new person that I'm coming in touch with, which is myself, I want to stop a lot of that, and so I want to talk about things, and I'm starting that new relationship with my adult children that we're going to talk about things, And one of the things I want to talk about is, hey, like, this is something that we did. And that's really my question. How do I bring it up to them without saying, I messed you up. You really need to go to therapy and undo A, B, C, D, because
Well, I always
that's
tell my
not,
kids, I go, look, one day, I'll pay for it. I'm gonna set this account aside. I want you to go to therapy, and I mean, you got to go talk about how I've whacked you out. So let's
well,
just,
I can't imagine that that's true, but that's just my perspective. So
I won't bring them.
I think
So
my kids are going to need therapy longer than your kids.
I don't
No,
know.
I'm making light of it, but I just see it playing out in their adult lives, and it just absolutely breaks my heart. And I mean, it breaks my heart. And I want to just say, no, 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 don't, no, don't do that.
Yeah. Okay. So
And I
let's,
don't know how do I bring that up to them, and how do I say, you know,
oh,
these are
yeah,
I don't
that's
know how
awesome.
to approach that.
That's awesome. That's really, really awesome. I would do it. I would just do it in the
Like,
way
they
that,
don't know boundaries, they don't know anything.
no, I get it. But I would just do it in exactly the way that you just did it with me. I'd say, hey guys, I want to tell you guys a story. Okay. And it's my story. And when I tell you this, I want you guys to, I'm telling you this for a reason, because I didn't discover these things until recently, and I went a lot of years without kind of knowing it. And I think it's kind of held me back in some ways. And I'm afraid that maybe some of these things that I didn't know about myself might have affected you too. And so I just want to know if, excuse me, I'm gonna tell you the story, but if any of this has affected you guys, I just want you to know, um, uh, feel free to talk to me about it. And if I can help you, I'll be glad to. But I just want to tell you what's happened to me and see if you can identify in your own life, not just how it affected you, but for yourself. So I grew up, blah, 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 blah. And I didn't ever know this, that, and the other. And recently I've discovered one of the things I discovered is I didn't have very good boundaries. Like I couldn't say no, and I let people control me, or I did things that I resented, or scattered. However, boundaries affect you, or I didn't know
Mhm.
that I was
Mhm.
perfectionistic, and sometimes I avoided failure, and I could have done a lot more if I'd stepped out of my comfort zone, or I put pressure on myself to look perfect. And sometimes put a lot of pressure on you guys to act like everything's
Yes.
fine,
Yes.
whatever the issues
Yes.
are, whatever the issues are. And then
Yes.
you go, and now I've started to really kind of look at these things, and it's opened up this whole new world to me. So here's why I'm telling you this. I don't know if maybe you guys have seen this about me all along, and now you're finally going,
Hmm.
Mom, like, duh. Or
Finally.
exactly. Or maybe this is news to you, or maybe you're not even ready to dive into stuff like this with me or about yourself. I just want to let you know that I am learning some stuff about me. If you ever want to talk about it, I'm open. That's what I would do.
Well, that's that's great advice. I'm glad this is on tape. I can go back and I'll
You
write that
know,
all down and say it
you know what?
exactly like that to them.
Hey, better than that. Why don't you invite them over
Yeah, t-
and play it
to
for them?
watch the family.
Guys, watch.
Yeah, yeah,
You're not
yeah.
gonna be- you're not gonna believe this. Watch this. See what happens. If that
Right,
happens, you
right.
got to call me back. Okay, you got to call me back.
Okay,
Tell me what happens.
okay.
All right,
Will
Michelle,
do.
are you a boundaries.me member?
I am.
All right, you got all the webinars and all that stuff.
Well, I saw difficult conversations. You actually gave me marriage
Okay.
last time.
All right, I was going to gift you all that, but if you already have it, that's great. But here's what I will do. Here's what I will do. I'm going
What?
to give, for all your hard work, I'm going to scholarship someone, give them the Michelle Scholarship, and you find somebody who you would like to grant that to.
Oh
You contact us. Okay,
my
make sure
gosh.
Albie's got your contact info so people can't fake in. I don't want people writing in
Yep,
to
yep,
our
yep, yep.
website going, I'm Michelle, and give me the freebie. So you give
Right.
him the way that he can do that privately, and You name that
Oh,
person, and we will gift them an
oh,
all-access license to Boundaries.me.
thank you so much. I already know the person. Thank you so much.
Right.
Thank you, Dr.
Okay.
Henry. Please, thank you for doing everything that you do, and
Well,
God
you're
bless you.
you're very welcome. Thanks for your call. Okay,
Yep.
we are isn't it cool though? I gotta say kudos to Michelle there. I remember one time, um, and way back when this happened, I was a young psychologist, and um I thought, wow, that's really cool because that's really old. And now from where I sit and I look into the future, wait a minute, that's not that old. But I remember I was doing a group one day in the hospital, and this lady stands up and she goes, I get it. I totally get it. I've not have any boundaries. And I my mother is totally in control of my life, and I am not going to allow that to happen anymore. And I'm 68 years old. And I remember the whole group just started clapping. Way to go, Mabel. You're 68. Your mother's been controlling your life. You're right. It is time to turn into a teenager and not let that happen anymore. And I thought, wow, that is so cool. If somebody 68 is going to start doing this. Now, I don't know how Michelle is. She's probably, my guess, she's got adult kids. I don't know. She's 50 maybe ish plus. I don't know, Michelle. I don't know. Maybe you're 40. Maybe you're 55. I don't know how old you are. But the point is this: it is never too late to wake up. God has given you a pulse wherever you are. If you still got a pulse, then you still got problems and issues because you're human. And if he's given us more days, he's given us more days to work it out. And as David said, let's number our days. Maybe Michelle's lived 50 years not looking at issues, and she's going to get another 50 to look at them. I don't know how many any of us have. But I do know this: it is never too late. Even if your kids are already grown and you are an adult, then get into the path of growing and then turn to your kids and say, hey, I just woke up. Maybe it'll help them.